Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Hot Seat, a wireless design and development interview series where we talk about the latest wireless technologies, components, and design issues for the wireless design engineering community. In this episode, we spoke with Gary Singh, who leads global product and strategic marketing for enterprise networking and data capture divisions at Motorola Solutions. Gary has a long history of developing solutions for the mobile and wireless markets and brings over 20 years of executive-level experience in both public and venture-backed companies. A Silicon Valley industry veteran, Gary joined Motorola from Nokia, where he was Managing Director, General Manager, Nokia Mobile Payment Services. Prior to Nokia, he served as Senior Vice President at Obopay, a mobile payments company, Vice President of Marketing at Aruba Networks, where he led IPO-related marketing and industry GTM strategy and execution, General Manager for Nokia's Security and Mobile Connectivity Group, and over a decade at Symbol Technologies in the Wireless Infrastructure Division, where he helped pioneer the Wi-Fi market. In this episode of The Hot Seat, Gary spoke about the WiNG Express Wireless Area Local Network, as well as some recent announcements for Motorola.
Well, for my first question, Gary, what problems is Motorola solving for consumers with the new WiNG Express Wireless Area Local Network?
So Motorola just recently launched its WiNG Express portfolio, which is targeted for the small and medium businesses. These businesses have been looking for enterprise-grade wireless solutions, not consumer-grade. And a lot of the companies have been offering enterprise-grade products at a very high price. So what we've done is we've taken the enterprise-grade products and sort of packaged them for the small to mid-market. Anyone who's got deployments for under 25 access points can very cost-effectively and very simply deploy our access points into the market.
And can you describe the technology of the WiNG Express and its main features? Maybe talk about what sets it apart from other products that might be similar to it in the market?
Sure, absolutely. So WiNG Express, by the name itself, is really about express setup. So it's a very easy to deploy access point. Wi-Fi, because it's an invisible technology, has a number of different issues in terms of complexity, security. And when you try to do all these configurations, not only your time and effort, but troubleshooting costs and the operational costs go up significantly. And that's not something that a lot of the mid to small market customers and clients can really invest into. They don't have big, large IT departments, similar to your home network, but really on a larger scale. But of course, it needs high-level security, and it needs high level of reliability, and its ability to be agile as your business needs goes. So WiNG Express is fundamentally an easier product to use. It has all the same enterprise class features that the Fortune 500 uses, but it's been packaged in a form factor and in an architecture that allows a user to very quickly deploy it, very quickly manage it, and very quickly service it. So that's one part. The second part of the Express is that it really comes at a very aggressive pricing. So it's not necessarily, typical enterprise grade access points would be in the range of $1,000 each. So our .11n based dual radio technology would be, you can get one of those for under $200. And for the .11ac, the latest Wi-Fi infrastructure product in the market, you can get that under $300 per access point. This is, we have a portfolio of about 6 access points we've launched. So like I said, you can easily procure one for under $300 for AC and under $200 for .11n.
And from an industry perspective, what sort of things keep you up at night?
Great question. At a high level, I would say that not a whole lot from a personal point of view. But I think the industry is definitely going through a fundamental shift about making wireless LAN as the primary link. And it's absolutely possible to make wireless LAN as the only link for you to communicate with. But definitely there's a lot of information in the market, good and bad. There's definitely questions around security or reliability or capacity of wireless LAN networks, and if not properly understood, you can get into some problems. So the emissions, if you don't do it right in terms of designing and deploying your wireless LAN network, it lends a bad name to the overall industry and the market itself. The reality is that there is absolutely no reason today where you should not make your wireless LAN as your primary link. In other words, the wireless LAN technology today is ready, it's reliable, it's secure, it has a capacity up to 1.3 gigabits per second per access point to really support any needs you may have, but if done right. So that's really the thing, is about the understanding and information in the industry to ensure that they understand what this technology can and cannot do, and to properly deploy it. And once you do that right, it's going to work really well for you.
So do you think the reason why there's some hesitation is because people aren't informed on the information about the proper installation and everything like that? Do you think that's the reason why people are hesitant to make it the primary link?
I think it's a combination of a couple things. One is, of course, there is always a tendency to compare to existing technologies. So,
Okay.
a lot of times wireless LAN is compared to wireline technologies, and therefore, these are completely two different technologies. They have different applications. One is focused on mobility, one is about connectivity. So you shouldn't be comparing, wireless LAN to your Ethernet as an example. What you really should be looking at is, what is your applications, and obviously these days everybody's mobile, right? I mean, your primary connection is wireless on your smartphones, tablets, and your laptops, and those are your three main devices that you connect with from a digital perspective. And all three are built in with Wi-Fi, and there's a reason for it. The reason is that people are mobile in general, and therefore you want wireless connectivity. So once you understand those elements really well, you got to make sure, as I said earlier, to really focus on having the right design in place. Once you have the right design in place, there's no reason that it would not be reliable or secure. The second factor that causes some level of misunderstanding in the market is there's a lot of overselling of wireless LAN as well. So there's a lot of, I'll call it tech speech, different standards that are in the marketplace. The fundamentals of wireless LAN technologies have not changed over the last decade. What has changed is that it is now has it is much faster and more scalable. Those are the two fundamentals that have changed. What does that mean? That it can support a lot more users today. So what are the fundamentals of wireless LAN? Number one, it gives you mobility. So you're obviously not tethered to the cable. The second one is really how far can you go? What is the range before your signal gets weak? The third is it secure? And the fourth is, can you actually support class of service, and can you really scale the system itself? In the previous generations of wireless LAN technology, when it first came out at 1 megabits, 10 megabits, 54 megabits, and so on, there was some limitations on scale. The number of users you could support on the wireless LAN network. But AC now, going up to 1.3 gigabits, there's more than adequate capacity to deal with the large number of mobile devices. So in that sense, a lot of information in the market about different standards, what's happening there. It's a fast-moving technology, no question about it. But if you focus on the fundamentals, which is, like I said, you're fundamentally deploying mobility, which is wireless. Do you have adequate, good connection on the wireless network, just like you would have on your cell phones? So design it properly. Is it secure? Absolutely. Just make sure security is turned on. And do you have the scalability? In other words, do you have enough access points to support the capacity? If you do those four things right, there's no reason why wireless LAN should not be your primary connection.
Well, Gary, is there anything else that you would like to add that you would believe is important for our viewers to know, especially about the WiNG Express for Motorola?
Sure. So WiNG Express at a very core level is bringing down the price-performance ratio. So in other words, you're getting high-performance product at a very decent price. And again, like I said, enterprise-class features being brought down to the mid-market. But then the second piece that you have to talk about is what are the different applications you're going to support on your wireless LAN network. So connectivity applications are very well understood. Basically connecting your PC, your smartphone to browse the internet, to run any type of applications. Beyond that, there's the rich media applications that could be voice and video. And those obviously have higher requirement of scalability, which AC can address very, very well. And then on top of that, what does it take what is a price per user, if you will, as you connect these users. Now, again, price per user could be one user with one device, or it could be one user with 3 devices. that perhaps are connected simultaneously. So those are the capacity things that you have to think about, and not really bust your bank in trying to get that deployment done. So WiNG Express is really trying to optimize your higher end functionality without compromising on the simplicity of the architecture, so anybody can actually deploy it. You don't need a PhD for getting this done. And then finally, it's coming at a great pricing infrastructure, if you will. The second piece I wanted to really mention here is really about location services. That's also a newer space in terms of how can your location assist in providing better value and better service to you. So take the example of a retail store or your office environment, or any place where you have a Wi-Fi infrastructure in place. If the Wi-Fi infrastructure can detect that location parameters for you, it can provide you better information. It could be as simple as, if you're working in a convention hall or a hotel, what are the services around you? What are the restaurants around you indoors? I'm talking not outdoors. Everybody's familiar with outdoor location services. But this Wi-Fi can bring you indoor location services in terms of, where are the restrooms? Where is the restaurants available to you in that building? If you're looking for coffee, where is the coffee machine at an enterprise office level? If you're in a public arena in a convention center, you may be looking for some booths that you want to go find, and there's 500 booths in a convention center. You don't want to spend a lot of time looking at a map where you can't read any of the symbols. With Wi-Fi, you can punch in the name of the company, and then it can build an indoor route for you, just like you have with Google Maps or some other technologies for the outdoor services. Last one would be really in retail, and the value in retail market would be with location services over a Wi-Fi network is really about getting better product, both in terms of price, availability, and of course the right form factor. So in other words, if you're looking for blue color jeans, in a certain size, and you're in a retail store, you can very easily, when you're looking at those jeans, maybe they don't have all the jeans in front of you, maybe they're in the back room. But if you say, because you're connecting with the product using location services, because you're in front of jeans, it can very easily say, yes, I do have the size, whatever, in red color in the back room. Just hit this button, and an associate can walk over to you and say, sir, you're looking for these jeans, and here they are. That's an example of a location-based service. The second example there in retail would be about couponing and promotions. A lot of people like a good price, no question about it, and a lot of the marketers are always sending you coupons in mail every single day, if you still open your mail and read those coupons. But to have those digitally presented to you at the right time, at the right place, and for example, if there is a sale on a certain product in the store, and as you walk by it, it can alert you to say, hey, today we're offering 50% on those jeans, as an example. So again, it's a reminder more than anything else, but it sort of prompts you at the time of decision that, hey, this may be something of interest to you if you're interested in that. So those type of location services on the Wi-Fi network are really starting to, come of age. A lot of new applications are getting built around it. And in that space, Motorola has launched something very new. It's called the Impact Platform.
Okay.
And what the Impact Platform is really about, taking the Wi-Fi infrastructure and connecting it with another wireless technology called Bluetooth Smart, or we call it beacons. So the combination of those two will really give you granularity of a location up to 3 feet. So if you're standing in a grocery store, as an example, it can detect that you're looking at cereal versus looking at chips. So your promotion elements could be, if you're looking at cereal, who wants to offer you the best deal at that given point in time of the day? When you're looking at chips, similarly, there could be a same example of a promotion, or it could be a cross-reference to say, hey, if you're buying chips, do you want to buy some guacamole to go with it? Again, reminding you as well as promoting you some kind of discounts and offers as you're shopping. So those are the type of examples where Wi-Fi coupled with Bluetooth Smart, coming together, giving you that level of accuracy with the Impact Platform is another key piece of our architecture and solution to the market.
Well, those are all the questions that I had for you today, Gary. I just want to take the time to thank you for coming and joining us on this episode of the Hot Seat.
Thank you very much.